A kingdom in crisis.
5 copper pieces? For a wheel of cheese?
Wildfires shutting down roads.
Man, my house burned down. And my wife.
This year's Festival of the Sacred Egg canceled. That's not it. That's not it. And the Crown Prince nowhere to be found. Welcome back to the Zone of Truth. I sat down with 3 adventurers tasked with joining the prince on his journey for the Egg of Prosperity to see if they know what the egg is going on. Now, we all know the prince and his champions must undergo the sacred trial to retrieve the egg. So, spill the mead. What went down with the crown?
Yeah, it was a trip. We fought a chimera, and yeah, I'm sorry, I don't quite know what to say.
Now, you may not know what to say, but you certainly know what to slay. Am I right?
Yeah, the chimera.
So, what did you gain from all this pain?
I learned the value of good leadership. The prince was an inspiration to be around. He gave me a newfound look on life. Also 300 gold.
I didn't even get paid. Apparently I did it for something called exposure. Worst boss ever. That guy sucked. He's the reason the bandits attacked us in the first place.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you say bandits? Talk about stealing the show.
Yeah, that's funny. That right there. Yeah.
Come on, give it here.
Death me.
Crazy, right, but it wasn't a big deal at all. Just a few on the way back. They wanted to kidnap the prince. The bandits, right?
And what'd they do?
Not a lot.
A lot. I'm talking archer, mage, guy with sword, other guy with sword. His head friggin' explodes.
Guy with sword?
No, other guy with sword.
Okay.
It was Calrax.
They had me tied up.
And why'd they have you tied up?
They were into it.
He transformed into the prince specifically to confuse him. And it worked really well. So well, in fact, that they wanted to ransom him and tie him up. So he blew man's head off.
Kelrax, did you turn into the prince and then kill a man?
Who told you that?
The prince was hiding the entire time, and he peeks his little head out, and he looks over the tree line, and he sees smoke in the distance. And he says, "Let's go put out that wildfire. Those civilians are running to their doom. Those were the bandits we just beat, and they were running back to their camp."
So we get to the camp, right? And he bursts open the door and he's like, "Oh, your prince is here to save you." Fear. Fear. They think this guy can explode heads.
So, these bandits, they thought the prince was a wizard, right? So, they must have been pretty scared.
No, they friggin' dogpiled him. He walked into a friggin' bandit camp. They were scared of him, yeah, but they were more scared of their leader.
Lady Rose, scourge of the wildlands and the bane of the crown.
Wow, Lady Rose? Talk about a smoke show.
We pushed her in a fire.
You what?
Yeah, it was bad. She was in there for a while. Every time she stood up, she just fell back in. It's very unlucky.
As she was being immolated, the prince ordered us to round everyone else up and ordered their executions.
With the beans.
By bean.
By bean?
By bean.
What do you mean, death by bean?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Listen, I got these beans from the Royal Armory to aid in the trial. Magic beans. No one knows what's gonna happen when you plant them.
Those beans, one under each bandit, erupted. First in oil, then in flame, then a forest spirit in the flame.
It was horrifying. We lived, but everyone else, I'm still there.
Talk about spilling the beans.
Yeah.
This whole experience was profound. I think a few close brushes with death really taught the prince the value of a life. So he went off in search for a better one, both for himself and for all of his people. It's my hope that one day he'll return to the motherland with a newfound perspective on life.
Kelrax told him to stay and put out the wildfire.
Alex, what I'm getting from this right now is that you did send our prince to his death. Is that correct? And there you have it. I think the prince may be out for a little while. He's probably dead.
Zone of Truth.
Where do we find these guys?